I have a marriage of convenience with my stoic boss, and I live with his 7-year-old son. 7 a.m. Mom, breakfast is on the stove. I called an Uber to take myself to school. Don't forget to get up at 8, okay? I'll come home after school and make dinner myself. You come straight home after work. No more DoorDash for you. Valentine's Day. I'm sorry, Dad's too busy with work. The only thing he knows how to do on holidays is send you money. He's so clueless. Girls like romantic gestures, you know. My son's small body lifts a huge bouquet of solid gold roses. Mom, for my sake, can you forgive him just this once? Huh? He gets straight A's, is a master of all things domestic, a world-class sweet talker, and brings home the bacon. Oh my God. Let him be my son forever. Even if it means being stuck with a handsome, faithful, billionaire husband, I'm more than willing. To escape the constant pressure from my family to get married, I entered into a marriage of convenience with my boss, Sean. Right after the wedding, Sean decided to expand the business by opening a new branch. He needed to work out of state for a while. I knew his son was in the 2nd grade here in town. So, I took the initiative and asked, who's going to look after the kid? He doesn't need looking after. He can manage on his own. Are you kidding me? Sean was completely serious. If you don't mind, you could live with him. My son, Alan, can't stand being idle. He'd feel really weird if he didn't have someone to take care of. I was speechless. How the tables have turned. It was obviously just an excuse to trick me into babysitting. A month into the marriage and he was already showing his true colors as a cunning old fox. I knew the $5,000 a month fee for this fake marriage was too good to be true. I had seen photos of the boy, but never met him in person. When I showed up at the house today, I was blown away by how handsome he was. No wonder those CEOs in novels can always spot their sons in a crowd. The resemblance between this father and son was uncanny, both had the same chiseled, model-like features. Worried the child might reject me, I put on my most fawning smile. Hi there, sweetie. My name is Sarah. If you don't want to call me Mom, you can call me Ms. Yen. Alan brought out a brand new pair of pink slippers and knelt to place them at my feet. Mom, please change your shoes. You don't have to try so hard to win me over. I'm not a difficult kid. He also put my purse away from me, and when I took off my coat, he climbed onto a small stool to hang it on the coat rack. Mom, I'm really good at taking care of people. From now on, I can take care of both of you. My dad is pretty self-sufficient, so there's not much satisfaction in looking after him. Mom, what are your daily habits like? Well, then you're in for a treat, I said, overjoyed. Your mom is a complete disaster when it comes to chores. I'm useless. At first, I was a little skeptical of the kid's abilities. But then he climbed onto his little stool and made me a perfect espresso with the DeLonghi. I was shocked. Your dad must work you to the bone, huh? It's really easy. You just have to watch once. This kid didn't miss a thing. While I was sipping my coffee, he was already wiping down the portafilter and brew head. I quietly opened the Starbucks app and canceled all my saved coupons. The coffee my son makes is way too good. I decided to stay the night. I rolled up my sleeves, ready to order my son some takeout. But with a wave of his little hand, he whipped up a 2-course meal with a soup. As long as I'm in this house, a frozen dinner will never cross the threshold. My son, the boss. Sniffle. This food is amazing. So delicious. That evening, my son brought his finished homework for me to sign. Dad already told my teacher that my family situation is special and he's often away, so my homework doesn't need a parent's signature. But now I have a mom. Mom, can you sign my homework for me? I excitedly scrawled my lopsided signature next to his neat, strong handwriting. For a moment, it was hard to tell who was the elementary school student and who was the parent. Don't you have any math homework? Does that need a signature? I do. It was a test correction. Anyone who scored below 90 has to write a 100-word reflection, he said. But I got a perfect score, so you can just write, reviewed. I was speechless again. So this is what it feels like to be the mom of a genius. That night, a thunderstorm rolled in. I was too scared to sleep alone in the new house. My new husband's bedroom was decorated in that dark, brooding CEO style. With the lights off, it was as dark as a tomb. "Alan, are you scared sleeping by yourself?" I knocked on the door of his room. "Do you need mommy to sleep with you?" "That wouldn't be appropriate, Mom. A boy my age needs his own space." I was speechless. Then a loud clap of thunder struck. I jumped. "Thunder. It's so scary," Alan said, grabbing his little blanket. "Mom, can I sleep with you?" He's still just a little kid after all. I helped him carry his blanket. As we passed through the hallway, the corner of the blanket knocked an antique vase off a shelf, and it crashed to the floor. Luckily, it didn't break. My heart nearly stopped. I knew exactly how much that vase was worth because my boss had sent me to buy it at an auction. My face must have been sheet white. Alan first checked to make sure I wasn't hurt, then came over and gave me a hug. "It's okay, Mom, don't be scared. You didn't do it on purpose. It was my fault for putting the vase in such a dangerous spot near the corner. I'm so sorry it scared you." I almost burst into tears. When I was a kid, I'd get yelled at by my mom for being clumsy and useless if I so much as broke a bowl. The childhood trauma of this old soul was healed by my new son in that very moment. I texted Sean, "You don't even know your son is afraid of thunder? And you just leave him at home alone?" Sean replied, "Impossible. The louder the thunder, the sounder he sleeps." I was speechless. That wave of warmth was completely unexpected. My bedtime habit is to scroll through my phone until my eyelids get heavy, then turn off the light and sleep. Mom, looking at your phone while lying down can cause neck problems, astigmatism, and crossed eyes. It also gives you dark spots and dulls your skin. It'll make you less pretty. What? It's never too late to change. Please don't do this anymore, Mom. Yes, sir. Your wish is my command, my lord. Before bed, I set an alarm to wake up early and take my son to school. But the next morning, a crack of light appeared as the door to my dark room opened. Alan, fully dressed with his little backpack on, whispered, "Mom." He said he'd made breakfast, called an Uber for himself, and would make dinner when he got home from school. And he told me not to order from DoorDash anymore. I must have gotten up too fast and started hallucinating. I lay back down to try waking up again. When I got up at 8, I realized it was all real. In the kitchen, the pot was keeping a breakfast of bird's nest soup and 2 pink, sakura-shaped custard buns warm for me. I felt like he was the one raising me as a daughter, a spoiled one at that. I've got a pretty big deal on my plate at work right now, with a Russian client. He speaks excellent Chinese, and when it comes to drinking, we're kindred spirits. The last time, I drank vodka while he had whiskey, and he was not happy about me drinking him under the table. He's been itching for a rematch tonight, and I was tempted. But then my son called me on his gizmo watch. "Mom, dinner's ready. I'm waiting for you to come home so we can eat together." I had to apologize to my drinking buddy. "Sorry, can't make it. I just got married, and my new son runs a tight ship." That one sentence in his native tongue completely blew my international friend's mind. We do a deep clean of the house once a week. Today is the weekend. After I finished breakfast, Alan handed me a plate of washed and sliced fruit. "You sit on the sofa and watch some TV. Don't move. I'll be done with the cleaning in no time." Then he rolled up his sleeves and got to work. Mopping floors, wiping windows. I couldn't help but ask, "Your dad's so rich. Why doesn't he hire a housekeeper, a butler, and a driver for you?" He stopped and put his hands on his hips. With the grave tone of someone concerned for the welfare of the entire nation, he said, "Because I don't want to become too disconnected from the common people. Good grief. Are you planning on running for president or something? Just to be safe, I checked his family history. Yep, from the DC area. Okay, that explains it. A couple of days later, my Russian friend asked me out for drinks again. I couldn't resist. I lied to my son, telling him it was a very important business dinner. Then I started mixing vodka and whiskey and accidentally drank the poor guy into an ambulance. I stumbled home. Sonny, Mommy's home. When I woke up at 6 the next morning, I had an 4 in my arm. Alan stood with his arms crossed, his face cold. Mom, you drank too much last night. You almost had alcohol poisoning. I was hungover but, surprisingly, didn't have a headache. Did you call a doctor? I started the 4 myself. Just some electrolytes, glucose, and vitamins. I was floored. What? Oh, right. I think his grandmother is a doctor. Suddenly, his eyes reddened as he scolded me. Mom, you fell in the hallway last night and almost hit your head. Do you have any idea how much that scared me? My heart clenched. I'm so sorry. I lost control. I didn't scare you, did I? You are never, ever to do that again. You have a family now. Being responsible for yourself is being responsible for your family. You're my mother, my role model. How can you set such an example for your child? At this point, he was so upset that his eyelashes fluttered, and tears started to fall. I nearly dropped to my knees. Yes, yes. I'm so sorry, sweetie. If I ever drink like that again, I'm a pig. That's not necessary. I support your hobbies, just be mindful not to overdo it. No, no, son. Starting today, I'm quitting drinking for good. On the weekend, my son announced he was going out to get some provisions. I thought he was heading to some fancy tutor. Turns out, he went to the supermarket to buy abalone, cordyceps, sea cucumber, black truffles. I asked him, are we having important guests over? My son replied, I'm making some soup to help Mom recover. Wait a second. 1,200? For this worthless life of mine? And he grabbed a whole case of those white strawberries that cost 15 each. I quickly put it back. Mommy eats the strawberries from the farmer's market that are 2 a pound. But Mom, weren't you looking at your phone the other day and saying you were curious what white strawberries taste like? He paid with his kid's smartwatch, and the balance had more digits than my savings account. He even said he earned all that money by investing his allowance in the stock market. All the utility bills at home were paid by him. Whatever Mom wants, I will get it for her. WHY? I don't want you to be haunted for the rest of your life by the things you couldn't have when you were young. Son. Why aren't you my mother? To return the favor, I took my son to buy some Legos. I was going to get him the deluxe Millennium Falcon set. But he just picked up a 29 special edition Stormtrooper. Son, don't try to save money for me. But it's really hard for you to earn money. It's not like me, where I always get a huge return on my investments. Okay, that's enough out of you. I took him to an amusement park. I saw some cute cartoon headbands. They were the kind of thing I desperately wanted as a kid. But I'm not young anymore, and I was too embarrassed to wear one. Mom, they have a matching parent-child set. Why don't we wear them together? Right. Wearing one alone would be childish, but with a kid, it's perfect. I also got to play in the ball pit, go down the slides, and ride the paddle boats I'd always dreamed of as a child. My son is a great photographer. He knows to crouch down for an upward angle, frames the shot perfectly, uses the zoom to crop out the crowds. Mom, kick up your foot. Peace sign. Now cup your face with both hands and make a pouty face. Mom, you look like a princess who just stepped out of a fairy tale. So beautiful. My mom is the prettiest fairy in the world. I, a total girl boss, was nearly turned into a puddle of goo by his sweet talking. During winter break, my son and I made plans to go to the movies one evening. But then I got my period, and the cramps were killing me. I'm so sorry, son. Mommy's not feeling well tonight. I remember my friend had to cancel plans once, and her son threw such a tantrum my head ached just from the crying. But not only was Alan not angry, he actually took my pulse. What's wrong? I was speechless. I was just trying to figure out how to explain menstruation to a 7-year-old boy. And he figured it out from my pulse. Mom, the pulse in your right wrist is a little weak. Your circulation is poor, and you have some coldness in the palace. You should eat fewer cold and raw foods from now on. Okay, thank you, Dr. Allen. My son padded off in his slippers and bustled around the living room. One moment he was bringing me a heating pad, the next a hot water bottle. He even used the wellness kettle to brew me some longan and red date tea. I felt even guiltier. I'm so sorry. I promised I'd go see Spider-Verse with you. It's okay. They'll definitely extend the theatrical run. I bought stock in the studio. We'll have plenty of time to see it later. Besides, you're not feeling well right now. You should watch a soothing, feel-good movie. He then used the remote to lower the giant screen and picked out a movie, Heidi. The original English version with no subtitles. Wait a second. Don't you kids start learning English in the 3rd grade? Life with my son was a total honeymoon phase. Then my boss told me his work was done and he was coming home for the new year. It took me a minute to remember I even had a husband. Can't he just not come back? He feels a little redundant. Sleeping in the same bed was the truly awkward part. Sarah, scoot over a bit. It looks like you're about to fall off, Sean said. It's fine, Sean. I'm practicing my gymnastics, sleeping on the edge like it's a balance beam. I teetered on the edge of the bed. He snorted. Suit yourself. Although our agreement stated we weren't to meddle in each other's private affairs, for the sake of the child, I couldn't help but ask. Do you think Alan might be a bit of a people pleaser? His maturity is almost heartbreaking. Did his mother leaving cause some kind of trauma? Why aren't you two together? Is his mother still alive? Sean just said flatly, that's just how he is. Don't overthink it. I suspect your parenting methods are the problem. You haven't been telling him stuff like, this company doesn't support slackers, have you? No. He was finally getting annoyed. Quiet time. Not another word, or I'll kiss you. I immediately clamped my mouth shut. A kiss from my contract husband would give me nightmares for a week. The 3 of us had New Year's Eve dinner together. My son had arranged everything. Honey, I'm being completely honest, marrying you was the best decision of my life. Sean gave a classic CEO-style smirk. Is that so? I finished my sentence. How else would I have met such a wonderful son like Alan? He doesn't let me lift a finger or worry about a thing. I must have done something right in my past 8 lives to deserve being his mom. After hearing that, my son piled a mountain of food onto my plate. Mom, is that enough? What, if it's not enough, are you going to jump in the pot yourself? Sean gave me a sour look. Stop giving the workhorse stimulants. What workhorse? He's my angel of a son. After dinner, my son cleaned up, my husband washed the dishes, and I watched the New Year's Eve show on TV while scrolling through my phone. Ever since I started talking about my son all the time, my feed has been filled with posts about kids. I saw a picture of a handsome little boy, and the comments were full of people posting pictures of their own kids, asking if they were just seeing them through mom goggles. I couldn't resist posting a picture of my son. Can you guys tell me if our Cody has what it takes to be a child model? Instantly, the notification number started skyrocketing. My single comment got more likes than the original post. Is there a lawyer in the comments? I'd like to ask how to legally fight a stranger for custody. Let me raise this one. You have another one. Please, the government wants us to have kids, right? Okay, I'll take this one. Sweetie, what's your favorite color for a getaway van? Wanna come home with Auntie? once this comment dropped, all the other mom goggle posts went silent. That's the power of an absolute knockout, my friend requests exploded. My DMs were flooded with agents asking to sign him. Worried about causing trouble, I quickly deleted the photo of my son. My son told me he signed up for a ski camp for winter break. I was a little worried. Where is it? Is it far? Switzerland. I was speechless. A lot of my classmates are going, too. Don't worry, Mom. The moment he left, the house felt empty. I couldn't be bothered to share a bed with Sean, so I went to sleep in the guest room. A contract marriage is a contract marriage. No extra words, no hugs, not even a meaningful glance. I had just lain down in the guest room when my son video called me on his Gizmo watch. I panicked, grabbed my phone, and sprinted to Sean's room. I didn't care that he had just stepped out of the bathroom, his bathrobe not even properly tied. I answered the video call, panting, "Ha. Ha. Son, you've only been gone for 7 hours and you've already called 8 times. Do you miss Mommy that much? Mom, why are you breathing so heavily? Huh? Oh, your father and I were just playing a game." Then I heard a slightly older girl's voice next to him scolding, "You idiot. The adults are doing grown-up stuff. Why are you calling so late? Don't you want a baby sister?" My son's face turned red, and he hung up. Oh no. He wants a baby sister? Sean silently tightened his bathrobe. Don't even think about it. Who'd want to? A new semester began. Today it was Sean's turn to be a parent volunteer for crossing guard duty. Alan mentioned that his deskmate Rosie's parents are super lovey-dovey. When her dad is on duty, her mom always comes to keep him company, and they hold hands the entire time. I said that sounded a bit redundant. He said that's what he told her, too. But then Rosie said that his parents were on their second marriage and obviously had no real feelings for each other. Oh, that set off my temper. During crossing guard duty, I stuck to Sean like glue from beginning to end. The moment Rosie came out, I locked eyes with Sean, our gazes deep and affectionate. Huh. Why are Sean's eyes so gentle today? There's a smile in them I've never seen before. I'm getting sucked in, oh no, our lips are about to touch. Alan's mother. The teacher's sharp voice snapped me back to reality. Come to my office. Whoops. I got a half-hour lecture from the teacher, but I wasn't convinced. That weekend, I invited Rosie over to our house and flaunted our affection until she was in tears, telling Alan, "Your parents are total power couple goals. I ship it." Then I was called in for another hour-long lecture from the teacher. This time, I learned my lesson. On Valentine's Day, Sean was on a business trip. I was in a meeting when my phone buzzed with a transfer notification. It was from Sean. WeChat transfer, 5,200. Happy Valentine's Day, honey, just putting on a show for our son. You don't have to pay it back. Burn after reading. I deleted the last 3 lines and happily accepted the transfer. The moment I got home, Alan asked me, "Mom, did Dad get you a present for Valentine's Day?" I cheerfully showed him the chat history. This is how adults do romance. Simple and unpretentious. My son didn't say a word. He went to his room and lectured his father on his Gizmo watch for a full half-hour. A little while later, the doorbell rang. A delivery person from a jewelry store was holding a large gift box. "I'm sorry, Dad's too busy with work. The only thing he knows how to do on holidays is send you money. He's so clueless. Girls like romantic gestures, you know." My son's small body lifted a huge bouquet of solid gold roses. "Mom, for my sake, can you forgive him just this once?" Huh. I took it. It was heavy. At least 200 grams. What's not to forgive? I could forgive the whole world. I was invited to a charity gala. The place was crawling with celebrities, so my social anxiety kicked in and I hid backstage. There, I stumbled upon Sean in a standoff with a famous actress. When she saw me, the woman left. I went over, full of gossip. Trying to be her sugar daddy? Extramarital affairs are a no-go, you know. She's Alan's birth mother. What? She was congratulating me on my marriage. But the way you two looked, it seemed more like a funeral than a celebration. Sean's eyes darkened. She begged me to keep her secret forever. She doesn't want him. Oh, poor man. On the way home, Sean told me a bit about the past. It turned out that Alan was his older brother's posthumous child. When his father's business empire collapsed, everyone ran for the hills. The burden fell on Sean's shoulders. The newborn nephew was almost the last straw that broke him. Why did you say he was your son? You could have just said he was your dad's third kid. My dad's been dead for 10 years, thanks. Then you could have just said he was your brother's child. No, Sean said disdainfully. He had a record, a DUI, and a hit and run. It would affect the kid's future, keep him from getting a government job. I was speechless again. As soon as we got home, we found our son standing guard, his eyes red. While I was cleaning, I found Mom and Dad's fake marriage contract. I panicked. Son, let me explain. I saw Sean had already taken off his suit jacket and was obediently kneeling in the corner. I panicked even more. Do I have to kneel, too? My son brought out the instrument of family discipline, a clothes hanger. You sit on the sofa for a minute, Mom. After I'm done with Dad, we can have a discussion. I wiped the sweat from my brow. Okay. Sean is 6 feet 2 inches, and Alan is 4 feet 9 inches. With one kneeling and one standing, they were perfectly eye to eye. Explain yourself. Why did you pretend to be married to Mom? Don't say it was to give your child a complete home. A fake sense of completeness is not a truly healthy family. Don't use your child as an excuse. Sean confessed, I have a crush on your mom. I used to. I'm sorry. The confession was so sudden I was completely caught off guard. Is that for real? Alan turned to me. Mom, please don't interrupt when the grown-ups are talking. Oh, okay. Sean said, your mom has a fear of marriage. I had no other choice. This was my last resort. I've seen so many model husbands, and you're the worst of the lot. Advanced training for pleasing your wife, the alpha husband, perfect husband daily drills. You haven't read a single one of these helpful guides to managing a marriage, have you? With such a lazy attitude, how do you expect to get a good grade from Mom? I couldn't help but interrupt. Actually, your dad and I are retaking the class. We were together in college. We have a foundation, so it won't be that hard for us to improve, Professor Allen. Really? I nodded. Actually, I'm your real mother. At this, both father and son froze. I continued my fabricated story. It's true. I was really skinny in college, so you couldn't tell I was pregnant under my winter coat. I gave birth to you in my dorm room, and my 3 roommates took turns helping me recover. You can call them and ask if you don't believe me. Alan's eyes turned red. Then why did you abandon me? Thank goodness for all the cheesy online videos I'd binged. Mommy lost her memory. I hit my head on the basketball hoop, and a blood clot pressed on my memory center. Your dad had such a hard time raising you all by himself. He was afraid of upsetting me, so he never dared to say anything. Then we got back together, and his true love reawakened my memories. Son, you are my real, biological, best baby in the whole world. Sean looked on, utterly amazed. I admit your logic is flawless, Alan said, his eyes welling up with tears. But I've known for a long time that the person who gave birth to me didn't want me. Dad, you are truly great. Thank you. I will be good to you, and I will take care of you when I grow up. Then the big one and the little one both started crying, a pair of beautiful men shedding tears. My heart ached for them. Mom, thank you for your kindness, but I don't want you to spread rumors about yourself just to protect my feelings. You were a dedicated student in school, a great leader at work, and a wonderful mother after you got married. You are my best role model. You are the best mom. Mother and son hugged and sobbed. I love you, son. I love you, Mom. Actually, what I told my son wasn't a complete lie. I did have a crush on Sean in college. He was a genius and the campus heartthrob. It was hard not to lose my focus around him. But one day at the hospital, I saw him rushing a baby to the emergency room. When the nurse asked if he was the baby's father and he said yes, I knew my shot at romance was over. From then on, I focused on making money, not chasing men. Looking back now, maybe my son was guiding me in the right direction all along. I much prefer being called CEO Yen to being Mrs. King. Since it's all in the past, there's no point in bringing it up and making people sad. My son would only blame himself, and my husband would only get cocky. Sean, when did you start having a crush on me? When you were a junior in high school, Sarah. What? Then why didn't you say anything? You were about to take your college entrance exams. I didn't want to distract you. Then why didn't you ask me out in college? My family had fallen on hard times. I was broke and had a child to raise. How could I dare ruin your future? Say no more, Sean. You're a true gentleman. You're almost 28 now. Don't tell me you've never been with anyone. I, my lady, am a total virgin. He got bold, taking my hand and getting fresh. My dear wife, please inspect the goods. We mustn't. Sean. This isn't appropriate. Hey, I'm a blushing bride myself. Don't start with the expert level difficulty right away. An old house on fire is a terrifying thing. Sean really knew how to use his strength on me. We were all over each other every day, and he was constantly leaving hickeys on my neck. I had to wear turtlenecks in the middle of summer to hide them from my son's sharp eyes. Shameless. I thought having an angel of a son was the luckiest I could get. I never expected my husband to have even greater potential, stronger drive, superior technique, and lasting durability. My life is too good. And to give me more security, my son even drafted a new marriage contract. This agreement has been amicably negotiated by all three family members. On the basis of fairness and impartiality, with the goal of family harmony and to ensure the education of the child and the care of both parties' parents, the following is agreed upon. All income of both the husband and wife shall be managed by the wife, who may dispose of it as she sees fit. Any objection will be punished by kneeling. Considering the wife's poor housekeeping skills, all household chores shall be the full responsibility of the husband, with the child supervising progress and quality. In light of the wife's careless nature and inability to care for others, the husband shall voluntarily take both sets of parents for regular annual checkups. In the event of hospitalization or surgery, the husband shall be responsible for their care, while the wife shall only be responsible for providing conversation and not causing trouble. Neither party shall use tactics such as "Mom, I want a baby sister, you just have the baby, we'll raise it," tantrums, or crying to pressure the wife into having more children. Any action against the wife's will shall render this agreement void. Child's education is self-managed, omitted. The wife may play games with the child on weekends to help him relax. This agreement is effective upon signing. Both parties shall hold one copy. The wife may terminate this agreement at any time if she is dissatisfied. The husband may not cause trouble otherwise, he will leave the marriage with nothing. This agreement is valid for life. Only then did I sign it. Before, I never wanted to get married. A bad marriage has a dark power. It can turn a lady into a shrew, and dim a person's brilliant light. I was afraid of the petty squabbles and the messy realities of life. And I especially hate doing chores. But now, my perspective has changed. A good partner is like a Sherpa on Everest, who will drag you and carry you to the summit, pushing you to your limits. A good family is like a high-capacity supercharger for the journey of life. With them, I can run forward without any distractions. At 30, I have 8 cars, 10 houses, no mortgage, and $10 million in the bank, and I didn't rely on anyone else. It was all thanks to my son. After talking with him more, I realized you can't just make money by doing business, you have to learn to invest. My son is young, but his eye for investments is incredibly sharp. Every project he backed took off. After just 3 years of following his lead, I achieved financial freedom. Gradually, I started to relax and learn to enjoy life. Life is about being content, not about having everything. Happy birthday, Mom. Congratulations on your 30th birthday, my dear wife. A small gift, just a token of my esteem. As I said things like, "Oh, you shouldn't have, I told you not to spend so much, and if you keep doing this, I'm really going to get angry," I opened my purse and slipped the 10-carat diamond necklace and Ferrari keys inside. Since Sean took over cooking duties, his skills have improved immensely. Lately, my palate has become increasingly picky. I've lost my taste for the light dishes my son used to make, and now I'm always begging Sean to cook me spicy, numbing things. My son noticed something was off and took my pulse. He pinched his little fingers together, and a joyful look spread across his face. Reporting to Mom, "You have a pregnancy pulse." "Really? Doctor, could you check again?" "I already have," my son said, trying to contain his excitement and taking a deep breath. "It's a girl." The father's eyes were wild with joy. Afraid of startling me, the two of them snuck out to the balcony and let out a roar so loud it sounded like 2 wild stallions had invaded the neighborhood. My mother-in-law also came to show off her skills. She took my pulse and insisted it was a boy, even saying, "If it's a girl, I'll give her a $150,000 bonus." It turned out to be a little princess. Wonderful. Another one sent here to repay a kindness. Before she was born, I worried about not being able to treat both children equally. I never expected the ones competing wouldn't be the kids, but the father and son. Elementary school isn't that demanding. I have plenty of time to take care of the baby. That won't be necessary. This is a parent's responsibility. You're a student, you should focus on your studies. What are you talking about? Mom is recovering from childbirth. She's vulnerable and needs her partner's care the most. Lying in bed grinning while playing on my phone, I quickly unplugged the charger, rolled over, and continued playing with my back to them. My daughter woke up. I put down my phone to pick her up. She screamed. Sean tried holding her. She arched her back and screamed louder. "Let me," Alan said. My son's baby-holding posture was remarkably skilled. The moment he held her, she stopped crying. Her father finally deflated. "I'll go make some soup." My son was always nagging me. "Mom, take a break every 30 minutes so you don't develop any postpartum issues." Sean came back after making the food, finally getting a chance to hold his daughter. But the little princess yawned and got sleepy. Sean placed her on the bed with the delicate care of a bomb disposal expert. The moment he let go. Wah! He snatched her back up in a panic and started rocking her. He tried again, and she howled again. He couldn't put her down. He just couldn't. "Dad, watch and learn." My son took the baby, patted her a few times, swung her onto the bed, casually propped her up with 2 small pillows, gave her a pat, and she was asleep. It was enough to give her father a case of postpartum depression. My son was a natural at taking care of the baby, and my daughter, Joy, was happy all the time. From the time she was a few months old, Joy would study alongside her brother. She never went to a single day of daycare. In kindergarten, her brother officially took her on as his apprentice, teaching her bilingually. By 1st grade, she'd already passed the Cambridge Pet exam, won a gold medal in the Math Olympiad, was a pro at Scratch, and could even build with Lego Mindstorms EV3. Parents were always asking me how I raised my kids. I'd tell them I didn't do a thing, my son did it all. They'd call me a phony, accusing me of being unwilling to share my secrets to success. My daughter was a cool little goddess in public, but a devoted little mama's girl at home. The second I walked in the door, she'd be waiting on me hand and foot. Mom, drink some water. Mom, have a strawberry. Mom, let me massage your legs. Alan would shoo her aside and take over. You have to spoil a daughter. Otherwise, some punk on the street will be able to lure her away with 2 bags of tacos. My daughter and I secretly exchanged a look. Looks like he didn't find out about the 5 bags of flamin' hot Cheetos we snuck after school. My son got into Harvard, in the law program. My daughter started to worry. What if I'm not as brilliant as my brother? I comforted her, you don't have to be brilliant to be loved. Mommy loves you for who you are. Your flaws are part of what I love. Mom, I meant in terms of housework. Finally, it was Sean's turn to seize power. The CEO tied on an apron. Dad has been sharpening his sword for 10 years, waiting for this very day. My daughter was nothing like her brother. She was boisterous and carefree, more like a boy. From the time she was still drinking from a bottle, she had her hands on a steering wheel. She'd driven the Nürburgring hundreds of times on a simulator. She got her racing license at 7 and competed in a top-tier world rally at 8. Later she took up street dancing and accidentally won the state championship her first time competing. She was always spouting the latest TikTok sounds and was a master of absurdist memes. Alan no longer worried about her being led astray by some punk. She was the punk. By 2nd grade, she already had 3 genius boyfriends. Her dad was so worried, sighing as he leaned on his son for support. During my son's sophomore year, his birth mother passed away from an illness. Our family went to the cemetery and watched her burial from a distance. Joy whispered, I know this is rude to say, but thank you for being so irresponsible. Because of you, I got to meet the best brother ever. Sean patted Alan's shoulder. Go say goodbye to her. Alan sighed. Rest in peace. Thank you for giving birth to me but not raising me. It allowed me to have the best family in the world. I stepped forward and hugged him. Don't be sad. Mom loves you. Me too. Joy hugged him as well. Sean, for once, got sentimental and joined our warm embrace. I love you all so much. After graduation, my son joined the civil service. He was later elected mayor. He was a man of integrity, dedicated to serving the people. As his parents, Sean and I were deeply respected and envied. The worst part was interviews and speeches. I really didn't do anything. Why doesn't anyone believe me? Geniuses are born, not made. My son, like his father, married late but had children early. He found a little girl at his workplace, abandoned by her parents, a truly heartbreaking situation. He'd been caught in the rain himself as a child, so he wanted to hold an umbrella for someone else. Later, he met a kindred spirit who also loved his daughter. The family of 3 settled in another city but always came back to visit us on holidays. After graduating, my daughter became a neurosurgeon. She was a firm believer in being single, child-free, and devoted her days to doting on us. She said she wanted to be a daddy's girl and a mama's girl forever. I seriously suspect she was just making excuses for her own promiscuity and irresponsibility. Eventually, I became an old lady. Osteoporosis. I fell and broke my leg. I lay in bed moaning and groaning, a real handful. My old husband just chuckled as I bossed him around. My wife is the sweetest-tempered little old lady in the world. I didn't like being touched by caregivers, so my daughter would give me a sponge bath every day. Time to wash the little fairy. My son, now retired, would help lift me up and down. Mom, shall I carry you to the garden to get some sun? The whole family revolved around me. I started to feel embarrassed myself. You're all spoiling me rotten. I gritted my teeth, stood up, and committed to physical therapy. I finally regained my former strength and could once again go out racing our wheelchairs with my husband. On my 100th birthday, I was changing my great-great-grandson's diaper. The little guy saw my hands trembling, unable to get it right. He got so impatient he sat up, ripped off the diaper, and changed it himself. I was so shocked my old mind went blank. Whose little prodigy are you? You're amazing. His chubby little hand pointed at Alan. Oh, so the talent comes from my angel son's side of the family. That explains everything.